This is I Know What You Watched last week. I woke up hyper, so I've spent some time trying to level myself out. With meditation, obviously.
Of course, that's what you're known for.
Been meditating. For 4 hours. I've been meditating.
That's my kind of meditation.
What did we watch?
I was, again, highly disappointed this week.
What, with everything?
Most of it. We started with...
Most of it?
Alone in the Dark 2. 2.
Yeah.
It's definitely Alone in the Dark 2. Then we saw Way of the Wicked.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, we watched Scream Park.
Yeah. And I chose that for one reason and one
It's
reason
Scream.
only. So what positions did you put these films in?
I did have a think about it, and it could have been slightly different, but I'm going with third place to Scream Park. Second place to Way of the Wicked. And quite clearly with gold was Alone in the Dark 2.
I've gone bottom place, Scream Park. Second place, Alone in the Dark 2. And top of the pile, Way of the Wicked.
There's something wrong with you.
Let's go in my order. We'll start with both of our bottom pick, Scream Park from 2012, starring the one and only Doug Bradley.
Starring.
Doug Bradley.
Featuring, maybe.
Doug Bradley.
But I should have known what level of amateurism we should have gotten, because even the title, Scream Park, for some inexplicable reason, they've got Scree Park. Like, they couldn't figure out how to fit the whole word across the screen, so they just randomly moved the M.
You didn't think that was an artistic decision?
No.
You don't?
If it was a terrible artistic decision.
When I checked this out on IMDb, it said it had a $3 million budget. But then I went on Google and it said 40 grand. And I was like, yeah, 40
That's
grand.
more like
so I'm like, but is this still how to waste 40 grand?
I could not believe what we were seeing at some points.
But Pinhead, he needs to save the theme park. That's what I thought we were going to get.
Well, that would have been more entertaining. But no, I mean, you say it's got Doug Bradley in it, but he was barely in it. And even he couldn't quite save the film.
It should have given him lines, shouldn't they? Like, we will tear your theme park apart.
But it's his
Stuff
theme
like
park.
that. What a shit theme park, by the way.
I know.
It's well grubby.
No offence to the people who run it.
No wonder
This is apparently an existing theme park, but I would not be visiting.
No wonder it's shutting down. You know, I can believe that. Got Alison the Blonde. Yeah. Got the nurse, Carly. She's a nurse for a little while. Bloody nurse. Then Jen, who's the dark redhead. Then we've got the ultra bad redhead. And there's a party. But before the party, there's a speech from Marty. Because Frightland is closing and everyone's going to be out of job. There's a security guard
Marty's
there as well.
Their manager.
Yeah, I've then got Werewolf Boy. You know, the boy that dresses up as a werewolf.
Yeah.
He's spied on by someone in the distance. And he's caught up to by a security guard. And there's a punk in a corner shop buying booze with a fake ID.
Yeah, not that he should have needed it. This is another case of like a 30-year-old trying to play a high schooler who needs ID. I was like, really though?
This is more of a hobbyist video rather than the film, isn't it?
It's atrocious.
Regrettably
the
full
cuts
of ugly
make no
people.
sense. The lighting is awful. The sound, did you notice the sound? How bizarre it
No
was?
money has been spent on the sound. No money has been spent on the wardrobe. No money has been spent on a cinematographer.
Like-
not on anything. Certainly not on the actors. They must have worked for free. So where's 40 grand gone?
For the sound, they've got this pretty standard noise-scape going on through a lot of it, which was fine, but it seems to have then negated the actual human noise. So like if a boot stands on crushed glass, you hear nothing whatsoever. If there's an impact with a weapon, you hear nothing.
Well, you just leave that out. And you just hear the beat in the
how
background.
hard can it be to add that in? It was so obviously missing. It was terrible. Not an artistic choice either, just like, oops, we ran out of time.
Werewolf Boy, he's jealous of Carly's boyfriend. Mm-hmm. Right? He was like the quarterback guy, football player. And Alison and the punk are also together. And there's this question that keeps coming up. Where's Blake?
Yeah.
Who is Blake?
Blake
Do we
may
know?
or may not be dating the main girl, redhead.
There's a good bit now where Carly and her boyfriend shag in a public toilet. Cubicle. with their feet touching the ground.
Blech. Disgusting.
Then
But again, such a weird cut. What a bizarre.
Carly comes out with her massive boobs out, and that's why he's made this movie, hasn't he? He's made it to see tits. Everyone who makes a movie at this level always have girls in their bikinis or just getting them out. And
Because
this is why they
sex
do
sells.
it. But it doesn't. This is just this perv's only chance to see tits. Carly wasn't bad enough already, shagging in the public toilet. She now likes a doobie. And the security guard he's hung, he gets hanged.
Yeah. There wasn't much build-up, was there?
There's no 40 grand spent on that hang,
And
was there?
again, it didn't look very believable.
Party's in full swing
Pretty
now.
sure he was just standing there with like this noose around his neck, just going. Bah.
Yeah, and a few close-ups on him.
Especially because,
Zooms
like,
out.
if you're being strangled, then when you get stabbed, would you be able to still splutter out blood, or would it just kind of?
You need
Because you're
blood
not
for your
supposed to be able
horror
to
movie.
breathe, so.
Got to get it in there every opportunity you can. Party's in
Mm.
full swing, and every time there's a movie at this kind of budget, why is always like the worst metal music always playing for the party?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind metal, but this was
This is
terrible.
I love metal, not this though.
No.
Jen and Marty, Jen is the darker redhead who's like the lead girl in this. They're going for a walk, and it's like, I guess people just don't really care about theme parks anymore. Yeah, you're right about that. There's always something new around the corner. People don't want to see the latest ride. This is a good script.
I also wasn't really understanding the casting of Marty because they're suggesting
Marty.
that he's been in this manager role for 15 years.
15 years, it's all
so
he's
he
known.
must be at least like 37, let's say. And he's hitting on all the girls, and they're supposed to be in high school.
This is not true to life in these
But I
weird
wasn't.
roles.
But even though he was saying certain things, I wasn't really getting that weird perv thing, and he looked a bit too young for once.
I could tell that he was the killer though. That was obvious.
Well, yeah, he made
Yeah.
it pretty damn obvious.
It's him and Jen that first see the weirdo standing alone in the park grounds, like sack face guy, and there's also long nose mask man, supposed to be plague doctor.
Yeah, although
But
I
it's
think
funny.
they took more like some sort of weird bird because it had a under mouth.
Apart from just catching Birdman here and there, the first real recollection I have on him is when he's killing Carly by frying her face in a big fryer, and he's gyrating behind her for no reason that I can tell.
It was so bizarre. Oh my god, I couldn't handle it.
This is
That's
gyrating.
That's kind of like what your hips do when you've had a few drinks and you've been listening to music for a while, and now some true groove tune has come on, and you just kind of start like gyrating
True
those
groove tunes.
hips.
Maybe
But this
that's what
guy
he
was
had in
doing
his
it
head.
whilst, putting her head in the fryer, which was bizarre.
Maybe it's a celebration dance of death, maybe. Dance of death. Carly's boyfriend, he gets tied to a roller coaster cart. And before Long Nose Man sets the cart off, he guts him. So there's just a dead person going around on the
Can
roller
you
coaster.
tell me what the point of that was? Because they made him pass out to tie him to a roller coaster, only to then just slit his stomach open. I was like, what's the point?
Yeah.
That was unnecessary energy they expend on
You've
that.
only got 40 grand though. So you've got to
Or
use it
3
in
million.
the right areas. Wolf Boy and Bad Redhead, they can't find Cart Boy. Then she's offed. Because she's had fantasies about being torn up in the gears of the rides and stuff, because she's that bad. She's that much of a goth.
Yeah, well, the two of them get splattered in roller coaster gutted guy.
Alison then runs into Long Nose Man and he starts feeling her up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of feeling up in here.
There is a lot of feeling up.
Yeah.
And they sort of rip her blouse, but I wasn't understanding. I think potentially they're insinuating that he assaulted her, and then she's crawling away because she looks pretty like battered
missing a sock
mentally
and
when we
stuff.
see her next. Yeah, but it just wasn't really sold.
Jen the Wolf Boy and Marty, they escape the other killer. And then Wolf Boy is scalped. Great scalping. Nah. Alison is axed in the head. Now it's finally enter Doug Bradley. He's like the owner of the park, and he's playing with the puzzle box.
Yeah, he's got a puzzle box paperweight. Nice little touch, but still nowhere near enough for this film to save.
He's having a meeting with Marty, and in my opinion, Doug Bradley just blowing him and everyone else off screen.
This was hilarious though,
Even with
because
his dialogue.
it's our main girl and Marty talking, and she's like, I know you know something, what is it, tell me. And then we go into him being like, well, there was this one meeting, fade into memory, and that's when the Doug Bradley meeting happens. I knew
Yeah.
something ridiculous was coming as
Doug
soon as they went
Bradley,
into his memories.
He's got a plan, hasn't he? On how to keep the theme park in business.
Kill everyone?
Kill everyone, yeah. Make it a murder
An
site.
accident.
So that's probably what, 35 grand to Doug Bradley. 5 grand's gone elsewhere. Director's pocket. Punk is now dead. Jen shoots a scarecrow, and the crazy killer guy who's been demasked as the long-nosed guy, he gets his eyes gouged out by Jen, and then the bodies are taken away. The press is swarming around the theme park because he's going to be back. He's back. It's headline news, and it quickly cuts to Marty, who's got a head in his locker, so it's not safe.
And does that menacing smile at the end.
It hasn't passed
But
the safety procedures.
we didn't even get to mention the guy that you said got his eyes gouged out.
Yeah. His performance.
Yes. Oh my goodness. At some point it's let slip that they think it's a couple of local yokels, they call them. And this guy was doing the worst yokel accent I've ever heard. And even when the two of them were masked, the way they were moving was so try-hard and unbelievable. It was absolutely atrocious. But yeah, that yokel accent.
But it did only cost 40,000 though.
Or 3 million.
Was this a good use of 40 grand?
No.
That's about all the time that movie deserves, really. Like I said, it's more of a hobbyist video than a film. Next one is a film, though, in my list. Number 2 for me, top for you, Alone in the Dark, Part 2, the sequel to Uwe Boll's original. Uwe's just producing this time. He's only producing.
You can still feel his stamp on it, though.
Yeah, there's lots of people shooting guns for a long time, kind of like lasers.
And I'm pretty sure there's a guy with a German accent who I'm sure Uwe Boll is responsible for.
Well, you've got a guy with a German accent. I've noted a guy who has the mix between like a pan-Eastern European and Scottish accent. I can't quite tell which one he's going for.
Nobody can.
But the first question that comes up for me is, this is a sequel. The same character is in it, Edward Carnaby. Edward Carnaby in number 1 was Christian Slater. And in this one, he's Korean. he's Rick Yoon. So if Alone in the Dark 1 had Rick Yoon as Carnaby and all of a sudden Christian Slater turned up in number 2, I'd be like, what's Christian Slater doing here? Why is he Edward Carnaby?
Yeah, so there are little bits...
Why does no one want to answer that question?
There are little bits that I recall because of just... You've said it a couple times, like Carnaby.
Carnaby.
So I know that we've watched it, but I mean... I'm sorry for my language, but I'm fucked if I know what the hell the first film was. I don't recall a second of it. So it didn't throw me as much, but even whilst we were watching this, you were like, wait, is that supposed to be Christian Slater?
Yes, Christian Slater is back as Rick Yoon. Yeah, who's of Korean descent, I believe.
Well, because I don't remember the first film, I can't really comment much on it. But yes, very bizarre.
It is sexy alert, though, because Rick Yoon is here. He's won sexiest villain before in some kind of performance in a magazine. So that's pretty cool, if you ask me. Also, Rick Yoon, he's in one of the Pierce Brosnan James Bonds, one of the shit ones, not GoldenEye. And he does look, when he has the same hairstyle as Pierce Brosnan, he does look like, Korean Pierce Brosnan.
Interesting.
Cool, man. The movie gets to a point, and I've just written, Rick Yoon is in bed. And in his dreams / visions, if he looks into the mirror in his visions, then the baddies will get him. Right? Now Bill Moseley shows up. And he's got a chin fanning the likes of which man has not seen before or after. It was highly distracting. And just revolting. This is a revolting chin fanning.
No.
I couldn't concentrate on anything except for his beard. If I can even call it that. Chin fanning is more like it. Oh, mesmerised but revolted at the same time. When Carnaby's having these visions, he talks about one of them. We see it. And it's some guy in a really fiery room.
Right.
And then when Carnaby comes to, he's like, I've just seen a vision of a doctor in his lab. I was like, what kind of lab and doctor is this? It's like the pits of hell. Why would he describe it as that? And why would everyone understand what he's talking about? It turns out the main girl in this, her grandma is some kind of witch. And she's the visions in Rick Yoon's visions that she's going to kill everybody. She's back. Because of some dagger.
Yeah.
The dagger is here.
Right, yeah.
And also Lance Henriksen is here.
Yes.
What do you know Lance Henriksen from?
Aliens.
Yes, he got one. Got one this time. Like I said, he's in a lot of films. I just pop on whatever and here's Lance Henriksen.
Lance.
And I'm always happy to see him, but what has he got to do with this? What has he got to do with this?
He brings some class to this production.
Yeah. I was talking about more about his character. Like, what has Lance Henriksen's character got to do with this witch?
I don't really understand any of it because, yeah, we do get this dagger, and there seems to be some scene at the beginning where they take a part of what turns out to be her heart out of the base and like destroy it or something.
Destroy the heart.
But I don't know what they were really trying to do because
Dagger
we also
heart.
later in the film get the whole heart and they cut another slice out of it and put it in the dagger again. So I'm like, wait, so do you want the dagger with the heart or not with the heart?
Do you like
Make
that
up your mind.
Lance Henriksen is living out in the woods because he's been through some shit? So that's what you do. And I buy Lance Henriksen living out in the woods. You know, he's got that calm demeanour. He's like Rambo, but not Rambo. He's like without machine guns, Rambo.
I mean, I buy Lance Henriksen and
Rambo-
everything I've seen him do, so...
Rambo is quite peaceful. He's completely peaceful, but he's forced into action. And that's why he blows
That's why he's a
people
good
apart
guy.
at the waist. So the main girl's grandma is back, and they need Lance Henriksen's help. Otherwise, she's going to come and destroy the whole family, because this girl, she also has a mark on her bloody hand. And Lance Henriksen then inspects the dagger. He's like, this has been used on somebody, but he's still alive. That's Rick Yoon. And I was like, yeah, Rick Yoon is still alive. So he's like inspecting the dagger, and he notices as well that there's something missing from it.
A heart sliver.
Also, Lance Henriksen's like, we don't have much time.
Of course not. They never do.
Time is of the essence.
And wasn't the witch like someone's grandfather was trying to like harness her magic or
The main girl's
kill her
grandfather was friends with Lance Henriksen, and he confided in Lance Henriksen.
Right.
So yeah, they're good friends. When I said Carnaby's in bed, he's actually laid up in a child's bedroom. It could possibly be a girl's bedroom. It just looks stupid in the long shots when you see the whole bedroom, just Rick Yoon there surrounded by Bill Moseley and his chin fanny and whoever else is in this. In this child's bedroom, he's fighting the witch in his visions now. The main
Right.
girl's grandma. And then Lance Henriksen, to stop this, he chews some stuff, puts it in a bag, then applies it to Rick Yoon, and that gives him invincibility/invisibility in the dream
The witch
world.
can't see her. Oh yeah, that's it. The witch
Invisibility formula.
has marks on certain people that she's then going to come and collect. So if you can...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, there's some backstory now. Bill Moseley's talking to Lance Henriksen. He's like, you still got those things my father gave you? And he's like, the hag might take Carnaby.
Bit harsh.
So now we know. And Lance Henriksen doesn't want to be around for that, by the way.
What's that got to do
He's
with
already
things that
been
he's
through
got?
too much.
Okay.
It's just a history, isn't it? Because this film is rich. You've got to film...
Nuanced.
You got to fill it with richness. Everyone gets in a magic lift now, and the camera goes mental around this magic lift, and there's like pew pew streaks everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
dark ones.
The witch wants the
It's
dagger,
the witch.
and the guy in the gang whose accent is indecipherable, you know, Scottish/Eastern European.
Right.
Where's this guy from? Yeah, he's there, and he starts shooting at the witch, which comes in wavy form.
Yeah, they
It's a
keep
bunch of waves.
trying to shoot the witch in this whole
Yeah.
film, and it never works. I'm like, why are you bothering?
The witch kills Bill Moseley, so he's
Bye-bye,
dead.
Fanny
Bad
Beard.
time for his daughter. I think the main girl is his daughter. And my overall impression is, oh my god, Bill Moseley just cannot act. This was horrible. This was absolutely terrible. Maybe it was just a chin fanny. Maybe it was Uwe Boll producing it. I don't know, but it wasn't good.
I mean, Uwe Boll has had his effect on what I thought were good actors in previous productions, so maybe.
Carnaby's like now talking to the Russian Scot guy. He's like, the witch is coming tonight. And I was like, no, the witch has just been here. What do you mean the witch is coming tonight? You've just been shooting at it for the past 10 minutes in true Uwe Boll style. So now the witch is coming. No,
Maybe
that was the witch.
maybe they didn't film the witch bit until Uwe Boll stepped in right at the end and was like, we need more guns and shooting, so I'm going to add that scene.
Yeah. Some of our crew then go back to Lance Henriksen for some advice, and he lets them know that actually your grandfather, who confided in me, he fought for the witch. I don't know why this is important. Lance Henriksen and Carnaby then are looking at a map to a place that they need to go, and the girl puts a beating heart back into the blade, opening a portal with lightning, and someone says, she's materializing during the day. What does that mean?
Right, so I think the fact that her granddad was working with the witch meant that he'd promised the witch his granddaughter.
What does it mean that she's materializing?
That she's not just smoky smoke?
So they're talking about the witch, the wavy
Yeah.
witch, right? I thought they were talking about the main girl in the cast. She's materializing. That's why I was confused. Lance Henriksen's like, throw the knife, and then Lance Henriksen sends them on their way after defeating the witch with some advice because he's out now. He's like, look, I've always said I'm out again.
For real this time.
Yeah. just run through this, right? So the witch appears asking for the dagger. Scott Bulgarian is dead. The girl, main girl, and Carnaby are searching a lair of bodies with a fire torch, and there's a rock and a secret door to the lab, the fiery lab, which is no longer protected by the witch, is no longer witch proof, so they can go into it. And when they get access to this lab, Carnaby gets possessed, and someone says to him, "You gotta fight it, Carnaby. It's not you. You're Carnaby. Just fight it." I like that.
And did you like the cage that they could hide in as well?
Would it have been as sexy with Christian Slater?
Nah.
No. Carnaby does fight it. Obviously, he's Carnaby. He's not just going to die, is he?
Carnaby.
And the witch is overlooking events from the woods now, and Lance Henriksen informs he's back. Yeah. He's not done. He informs everyone that they've not freed the witch. No, they've only freed the witch, not killed her, and now it's attached to the little girl. So they've got to save her, and by doing that, someone shoots Lance Henriksen in the face, but he's fine. He's lived another day.
Right, yeah, it gets like his
He's barely
ear
affected by it. You can't.
My goodness.
It takes more than shooting Lance Henriksen in the face to get rid of him.
He recovers really quickly, doesn't he?
He is. There's no recovery time whatsoever.
Oh shit, my ear's blown off. Let's carry on.
Yeah. Then he gets shot in the leg. That seems to affect him more than the shooting in the face at point blank range. And the witch tries seducing Carnaby, so he stuffs her head in a water barrel. Natalie, then Lance Henriksen says, "Natalie has to die. You have to stab her to destroy the witch." So then Lance Henriksen implores him to use the dagger, and it also brings her back to life as Natalie instead of
That's it. They're saying
witch.
something about like it only kills the soul, not the body.
And then they all walk away happy, arm in arm, and we get a slow zoom onto the dagger because it's still around in the woods where Lance Henriksen was living. Where's he going off to live now? In the city?
Maybe. But yeah, this film for some reason kept me most entertained whilst we were watching it.
It was entertaining.
But the more we talk about it, the more I realise like I have no clue what the hell was going on.
Much like the first one.
Yeah, just...
Even though the first one gave us a 5-minute opening of text explaining the entire story. That was more confusing than what then took event afterward.
It's like when I used to open a board game and it had all these instructions and I just gave up. I was like, no, this is too much.
Like Operation. I was like, Hungry Hippos. So worryingly, this was number 2 for you. Number 1 for me, Way of the Wicked from 2014, starring the one and only Christian Slater, the original Carnaby, and Vinnie Jones. We've seen some Vinnie Jones movies, Lock, Stock, where he plays a heightened version of himself, and then that Clive Barker movie where he plays a silent killer, nailed it. And you see him in some movie where he plays a football coach, and obviously he was a footballer, so he's nailed all those. Let's see if he can nail this, because what I've done...
He nails it by doing the exact same thing, though.
I've gone for more of a character study of Vinnie Jones in this film, because it's not often we're blessed with, the greats, Brando, Pacino, De Niro, Sigourney Weaver, Vinnie Jones. So it's only right that we take a deep dive into the fabric of acting.
Have you just saved time on the previous 2 film reviews in order to just wax lyrical about Vinnie Jones?
I may have.
Oh, God. All right, go on then.
Before we get to Vinnie Jones, this opens with the one and only father, Christian Slater. And he's sitting down with a mother and child, and he's questioning the child about an attack that he's just come under. And then he asks him the question at the end, "Did you wish for the people who did this to you to die?" And he won't answer the question.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're 5 years ahead, or as I like to call it, 5 AFS, like BC AD, because this is 5 years after Father Slater. Just seen Father Slater. It's 5 years on now, and Vinnie Jones, he wakes up in a pool of sweat because he's just had a dream about his deceased wife. He's also a father to a daughter, Heather. So that makes him not only a widower, but a single father. And I'm looking forward to a raw, emotional performance showing the anguish of a man who's been put through it by the universe from the one and only Vinnie Jones. I can't wait. And it's not just me. The director clearly has confidence in Vinnie to deliver the performance, because he's allowed Vinnie to bear his, hard man prison tattoos during the performance. He's kept them visible because he's in no doubt that Vinnie Jones thespian. Will bring a quiet tenderness to this film in spite of his outward psychotic appearance.
Are you telling me...
There is a gentle tenderness just waiting to get out.
You're such an idiot. Are you telling me that Vinnie Jones is your favourite British actor? That's what it sounds like.
I'm saying he's a force to be reckoned with. And
so not Jason
Statham.
Statham.
That's a question for another time. Another great. But is he on Vinnie's level? This is a heavyweight role. Thing we're getting here from Vinnie Jones, which maybe we don't get as much from Statham, is it's going to be a layered performance. Okay, that's why
like an onion.
That's why we're showing the tattoo. Okay, that's why Vinnie Jones has made sausage, egg and bacon for breakfast. You know, he may be hurting.
He's doing a fry up.
Okay, but he's not going to be eating fruit cups for breakfast anytime soon. Yes, he's crushed. No, he's not a fanny. Plus, it would just be too easy to show Vinnie Jones, doing yoga and eating fruit. This performance would be revealed from the inside, pulling straight from the noble art of acting.
Would you have liked to see Vinnie Jones doing an American accent?
No, he's keeping it more authentic. He's going authentic, and it's explained in the backstory that he's an expat here in America now.
I would have loved to see him try and do an American
I've just mentioned the noble craft of acting.
You have.
And we get our first glimpse of the noble craft after the waking up in a pool of sweat, after Heather turns down his heart attack on a plate for breakfast. And she remarks that she'll just grab a coffee on the way to school, to which Vincent Jones replies, "And what? Coffee's good for you?" This is just the beginning of the journey into the emotional core of man. Just a brief moment away from Vinnie Jones now, and we'll get into Vinnie Jones' daughter Heather, her best friend Cindy, and the arrival of the mysterious, the sexy Robbie Mueller at high school.
Oh no.
He's badass and mysterious. And notice he walks in slow motion. He slows down time.
Oh, this guy really annoyed me. It really annoyed me. Just the way he was walking, like, yeah, he's supposed to be the sex symbol of this movie, and did the opposite of that.
Maybe this movie wasn't doing it for you.
He had a really square head.
Because
like
they didn't
cube.
have the talent around Vinnie Jones. He's just blowing everyone off screen.
But also, Heather seems to know him already,
Mm-hmm,
Mr.
she says as
Mueller,
much.
because they used to go to, like, middle school or something together. And he disappeared,
Yeah.
and now he's back.
It's been 7 years or whatever.
And she still likes it.
Yeah, and Cindy wouldn't kick him out of bed. So she says, now it's time for class. Bad boy Greg, he's going out with Heather. And he is interrupting the class with his rapier wit.
As they always are. Of course.
He's thrown out of class. So then the teacher asks the question that he asked Greg to Heather, but she's away in the clouds.
What? Could you repeat
So she's
that?
told off. Don't worry, Robbie Mueller's here. And he
I was worried.
answers the question about Earth in slow motion and then turns to look at Heather. He's a nodder as well, isn't he? So he doesn't only slow down time when he walks, he also speaks slow and nods. Then on the way home after school, Cindy accuses Robbie Mueller of stalking him and Heather because he's walking close to them, but he's just going the same way home. He's like, that's my house.
Yeah.
That's my house.
That's sexy. You should
Yeah.
slow down and maybe, you'd be sexy.
It's a big ask. Back to the character study. It's late night at the Galileo Coffee Company. Vinnie Jones is here. See, he is into the artisanal fare. You think he's just a sausage man, but here he is with a muffin and avocado in front of him. And you know what? I'm not even questioning it. He's at ease with what is around him. There's even a smoothie there. But he does seem deep in thought, and I'm thinking he's like, can I really be a long-term avocado muffin man? We'll see.
I'm pretty sure he
We'll
runs
see.
the cafe. I'm pretty sure it's his cafe.
That's Vinnie Jones's cafe.
I'm pretty sure that's what they were getting at, because I
Wow,
swear he's behind the counter.
There are just layers and layers.
So he runs this.
I was quite sure he was a
hipster
policeman.
Were you?
Is he not a policeman?
I thought he was a cafe owner.
So why is he riding around with the police at the end and arresting people and flashing his badge and stuff and investigating people? I don't think Vinnie Jones owns the cafe. I've done a deep character dive, and nowhere have I put Vinnie Jones is running a cafe.
I thought because he was behind the counter and he was talking to the staff as if he was like telling them what to do. Unless I just completely forgot.
Why would he own a cafe and be a cop? There's no time for both. He's going to run one into the ground. That cafe's got no chance of surviving, especially on a cop shift.
Right, okay, so maybe he is a cop. I don't recall badge flashing, but we'll see.
Listen, there's not really much time to work out just yet if he is a full-time avocado muffin man, because Heather is here and she's joining him for food, and instantly she is his concern. You know, he's like, how's the food? Then the mask starts to slip and he's like, this was your mum's favourite place, this was. It was her favourite meal. But then, you know, he's got to switch again because this is his daughter here. He's got to put her first. So he's like, how about we get out of here, yeah? Go see a movie. You know, he can. It's written all over his face. He's got no time for the cinema at the moment. But his generosity of spirit shines through for his daughter as a single father. Like I said, this is going to be a layered performance. Heather agrees to this invite to the cinema. Vinnie clicks for the check, and you know that chick is going to be over there sharpish. That check, should I say, not that chick.
I thought it was a chick with a check.
You know it will be there sharpish. You shouldn't be fooled by the avocado muffin. This is a man who could break at any moment, right? Then Vinnie Jones's phone vibrates, and he looks at it with kind of like a vague confusion and pent-up anger. And you can understand this because, you know, he feels abandoned by the universe. And right now, we are only 13 minutes into the film, but all the acting fibres there are on show, contracting, relaxing, slowly turning up the heat to what will inevitably become a performance wildfire.
Right, so he got a text, he has to go to work, so he can't take his kid to the cinema. And that clears up, yeah, he must be a policeman, and he just eats like every meal at this cafe, and that's why they let him stand behind the bar and do what he wants.
Yeah, were you even paying attention?
To the flexing fibres of acting, yes I was.
In the school canteen, Greg is douching out to Heather. And Robbie notices this and he like smirks after she rejects him. Greg walks over to him.
Do you realise that you're still talking
In my Vinnie Jones
a bit Vinnie
explanation.
Jonesy, yeah, or like the slow talking guy, because you've got that low and slow voice at the moment. I feel like it's carrying out, leaching into your
I mean, this film
speech.
just gave me a lot to think about.
Are you so in awe of Vinnie Jones that you can't
think
speak
we
at full
all
speed?
I already mentioned he nailed 3 roles. Here he is
Nailed
again, nailing it. Greg is affronted by this laughter from Robbie Mueller, so he walks over and gives it the big one, doesn't he? And then, for some reason, Robbie Mueller looks Greg in the face and he's like, you've been jacking off since you were 5 years old, haven't you? Looking at your daddy's porno mags. And Greg's like, wait, what? This guy's crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's like, he's just accusing him of being a 5-year-old wanker. Because this is just flat out weird.
Yeah, and the reaction as well. Everyone's like, oh, no, he didn't. It's like, that wasn't a good burn. But he walks away like, yeah, I just laid that down on you.
He did.
And it had its effect. But yeah.
What a
weird
strange thing to say. Greg gets mad at it, though. He does kick a chair. So we know that he's mad.
It was a really harsh put down.
Then Greg confronts Robbie Mueller in the corridor because Robbie Mueller's talking to Heather and he beats him up. But then Robbie Mueller seems to attack him with his mind. Throws him about the lockers with his mind power.
Yeah, well, it's the little kid from that flashback. This little kid has got ESP and now it's a big kid. Robbie Mueller actually is quite small looking, but Robbie Mueller.
He does look rather tiny. I think this performance took a lot out of him because he hasn't really acted afterwards or since.
I'm shocked.
Back now to the single father-daughter dynamic. And Vinnie Jones is put out because he's been firing up the barbecue. But Heather says that she has plans. And the open wound of rejection is laid bare for us all to see in Vinnie's face. It's painted all over him, isn't it? But he does, once again, he pulls from his real life like all the greats do. And he convinces Heather to stay with a little bit of, come on, you want to stay for a little Barbie, didn't you? A little bit of shadow boxing, fake boxing. I can fully imagine that Vinnie Jones was doing this to his own children when they were growing up. And here he is, bringing it into the performance. Yeah, and Heather then notices a glass of wine on the barbecue. She's like, should I be concerned about this full-bodied red? And he's like, no, I always have a glass of wine when I'm barbecuing. This is a character journey shown through cuisine and libation.
Were you getting that Vinnie Jones' character was supposed to be a bit of a drinker?
No, and he's not, and he laid that down. I can understand he might be a drinker if he does, in fact, run a cafe as well as be a cop.
He ain't got time to drink. What are you talking about?
But at this point, he is a Renaissance man. Artisanal fare in the cafe that he doesn't run, and a full-bodied red while you grill. That's what men do. I've mentioned Vinny's pulling from his real life. And at this point, I'm asking myself the question, where is the football hard man that I knew growing up? Because now he shed his skin and he is Vinnie Jones' chameleon.
Maybe he just softened with age.
You're an actor. You have acted on London's West End in very heavyweight stuff. What was one of them called? Night of the Iguana. That's heavyweight. With heavyweight actors. Here's Vinny. How are you not mesmerised?
Actually, I would have... Oh my god, I would love to see Vinnie Jones in the
Night of the
Owen
Iguana,
role. Yeah.
Now, hey.
That would be brilliant.
I am there.
Maybe even give an American
Vinny,
accent as well, so I get two birds, one stone.
Get me Vinny on the blower.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm full of ideas, I am.
Do a one-man show.
Now you're talking. David Hasselhoff had one. Or at least play Jekyll and Hyde.
I don't know how you're going to make Night of the Iguana a one-man show, but it's almost there already. It's like 90% his character, so...
While she sat down for the barbecue with
worth.
Vinny, finally, I mean, who turns down barbecue with Vinnie Jones? Right, Heather is now telling her father, Vinnie Jones, about Greg's fight with Robbie Mueller, right? And Vinnie Jones, he's going back in time. He's like, Robbie Mueller? Oh, I know that name. So she tells him the history, and then they part ways. Vinnie Jones puts on his specs, and he starts reading articles about Robbie Mueller, who just happened to be in the paper. Meanwhile, he can hear Heather swearing on the phone upstairs, so he leaves the research. Now there's concern and intrigue weaved into this coat of emotions that Vinnie Jones is wearing.
Right.
And he checks on his daughter.
Okay.
She doesn't want to know. The open wound of rejection is laid bare once again. I believe now we get one of our first instances where Heather just has one of her talks with Robbie Mueller. And he's just weird, isn't he? You know, he's awkward and creepy. He mentions to her that...
He's trying to smoulder, but it's not smouldering.
He's had no interest in any girls since he met her. And that was, years and years and years ago. He just stares at her and talks to her in slow motion about how he fantasized about her.
She likes it, though.
They all like it.
She likes
They just don't know they like it till it happens.
Do you know, we're not reviewing it because we did a live stream on it, but we watched Wishmaster this week as well. And
I'll watch it 3 times this week.
The Jinn, as a human, I'm like, he's not hot, but he is hot because he has this confidence and smoulder, which is what Mr. Mueller should have in this from the lines and direction he's been given, but he miserably fails.
He has got a flat receding mohawk, though.
Oh my god, his hair was so weird. From the back as well, the way it was on.
What was worse, Robbie Mueller's hair or Bill Moseley's chin pubes?
I was actually more distracted by Mueller's hair.
Right, yeah, it was very distracting. I think it wins, which is one hell of a victory over that chin pube. During this conversation, Heather asked Robbie what he thinks happened to Greg by the lockers. And he's kind of vague. And he takes Heather away, but lurking in the bushes is Father Christian Slater. That's kind of ballsy, isn't it, to have a priest hiding in the bushes in your movie?
Yeah.
Greg's not out of the game, though, with Heather. He pulls up beside her in his convertible. He grovels. They drive off to a secret spot by the water. He comes on a bit too heavy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So when he's about to, get too aggressive, all of a sudden, he's blasted away and she kicks him in the bollocks. She drives off in his car. Robbie Mueller's now peeping from the bushes.
Yeah.
Been a lot of peeping in movies
There's
recently.
a lot of peeping in movies. And this reminds me of your favourite It's Garbage Day when he's peeping through the trees as well.
Because Greg's been abandoned, Robbie Mueller catches up to him in the woods, punches him to the ground, lets him know what's what, and then a driverless tractor runs over Greg. He's chopped up by the tractor.
That made sense.
Because I forgot it was a horror movie for a while until I saw that. Just on to the next stage of Vinnie Jones' performance. Like I said, he's not a cafe owner. Okay, he's a lawman, and he gets the call. Now, this is great, because now we get to see another side of Vinnie Jones. Now, I never imagined Vinnie as a man of the law, but yet here he is wearing that particular skin with verve. Are you not impressed by the layers? We are peeling the onion, as you said earlier on. The onion of Vinnie Jones.
No, I wasn't. I enjoyed his performance. He's one of those actors that's just entertaining to watch, but I wasn't quite getting onion.
When I found out he was a cop, he starts questioning his own daughter, and you can just see the riddled mind of a seasoned cop on full blast.
The riddled mind.
He's seen a lot.
Okay.
Cindy's mad at Rob Mueller, so she has a go at him in school, starts flapping at him and stuff. Heather's sitting on the bench, and entering from stage left, Robbie Mueller, and he's like, flowers, they're beautiful, aren't they? I think his mouth's been numbed. So that's stargazer lilies. He knows his stuff. He's a botanist. You know, he'd do well to take a vocal projection lesson from Vinnie Jones while he's on set.
Imagine if he starts just
grab the
imitating
opportunity.
Vinnie Jones style.
If you don't ask,
to
you
Vinnie
don't
Jones
get. And as we know, Vinnie Jones is generous. He gives. He just gives.
How do we know that?
It's on screen.
Okay.
His generosity of spirit as an actor. Now, I really hope Robbie Mueller's an alien or something, because what else would explain this? There's no explanation for it whatsoever. Heather and Vinnie Jones have an argument now about Robbie Mueller.
Yeah.
Vinnie Jones suspects him. Can't get nothing past him. Like I said, he's a seasoned
Yeah.
cop. You know, this is bread and butter for Vinnie Jones. This isn't really acting. This is just being. This is being.
He didn't even have to learn the lines because he was
Thespians
the
don't
lines.
actually act. They're just above that. They become.
They live it.
He's a concerned father now. He's a concerned father. Once again, we're weaving the stitches into this coat. Officer Vinnie Jones, he drives off to Rob's mum's house.
Right.
And he's informed that Robbie Mueller is actually not here. He's at the library. Now, what I do know about Vinnie Jones in his real life, he's not often in the library. So he walks in. There's no confusion. He looks like he's read 1,000 books. You know, it's just there, oozing.
He doesn't need to pick up a book 'cause he's
No.
got the knowledge.
This is new territory for Vinny as well. Let's not forget that, okay? And we're believing it. We're not even questioning it. To be fair, you can't go through a whole character study and not give one critique. There was just a split second where he did look confused. He let the real life in again too much. Because once you open that portal, it is hard to close it. He questions Rob, and Rob remembers him somehow. And he treats him with a nonchalance that Vinnie Jones is not used to. So, Vinny scowls at him. You know,
Yeah.
you can tell what he means just
Well, he
for his
thinks
face.
he's guilty, but also this little punk is trying to get with his daughter.
He's thinking, does this involve my daughter? After all, walking back to his car, he hears a noise. Okay, there's shock, sprinkling of surprise. He's there, looking off into the distance. It's like a recipe, an acting recipe. And Vinnie Jones, he has all the spices available. Rob, he then starts to sulk and he gives Heather the cold shoulder at school because Vinnie Jones has warned
dad's
him off. You
dick.
stay away from our daughter.
Yeah, he's such a little miserable git as well because he's just like, your dad's a dick.
Mm-hmm. Who says that to someone's daughter?
I know, I'm agreeing with you.
Now it's the first instance of what we've all been waiting for. Father Christian Slater, Vinnie Jones coming together for their first scene. And Father Christian Slater, you know, they're in the cafe again, but this is like an everyman cafe, I believe. This is not the artisanal coffee house, the coffee company. Father sits next to Vinnie Jones, Father Christian Slater. Vinnie Jones reading his paper. Do I know you? Does he know him? Father Slater hands him his card. And he's like pretty vague. He's like, just give me a call. Then he's out of there. Vinnie instantly gets a background check on Father Christian Slater. He's got his instincts about him. There's no time to waste. He's seasoned, not just as an actor, as a police officer. Vinnie Jones has taken a moment in his busy schedule now. He's visiting his wife's grave. There's regret. There's sorrow.
Oh my goodness.
There's longing. The fibres. They're on show. private investigator shows, or it's another cop. I thought it was a PI at first, but judging by the ending, I'm thinking he's another cop. Heather is a suspect, and they got nothing on Rob and nothing on Father Slater. Now it's back at the Everyman Coffee House, not the artisanal one where he's eating avocados
Galileo's.
and muffins. And Father Slater arrives this time with a tome.
Okay,
He's got a big book.
I was wondering when this was going
And
to
he
come up.
asks Vinnie Jones, do you believe in God? Yes, this is the subject matter that is tailored to a thespian like Vinnie Jones, because now he can wrestle with the large questions, look inwards at his own belief system, and ignite us with him as an audience with his musings delivered through his character. Right, and you've got to compliment the writer here, because at some point he would have found out, yes, Vinnie Jones is going to be in this role, and once he knew Jones was on board, he had to go heavyweight. He had to, and he's proven right here. Officer Vinnie Jones, though, he doesn't want to answer that question. It's still inside him, the answers, right? There is a good and there is an evil, and these books explain this. It's all been foretold, says Christian Slater. And then Vinnie Jones breaks. It's like, you're telling me this is to do with Robbie Mueller?
Yeah.
And he's looking for the name Robbie Mueller, and Father Slater finds his page and he reads aloud, a child will be born with the way of the wicked, the same year that Robbie was born, and a demon will swallow the breath of others the same way Robbie swallowed the breath of his victim as a child. Also, it turned out Robbie's mother was raped and impregnated. Then the stepfather died of a heart attack, who Robbie hated. Christian Slater informs Vinnie Jones, look at these materials, you will find all the answers that you are looking for. But Vinnie Jones is like, you're telling me I'm looking for some omen kid? You know, like Damien.
Well,
He's
yeah.
like, I can't go back to the precinct and tell everyone that I'm looking for some ghost or whatever. They'll think I'm nuts.
He's not wrong.
And this is coming across, isn't it? He's incredulous at this.
Yeah, but the one thing that, again, he must have been really acting at is because I'm pretty sure you said it was a tome, but I'm pretty sure the priest brings like 10 decent-sized books that you know are in like tiny little text on really thin sheets.
There was a load of
And he's like,
books,
oh,
yeah.
just read this. And Vinnie Jones just takes it like, yeah, that's no thing. I'll have that done by tomorrow.
There is a bewilderment to Vinnie Jones's performance now, because there's a lack of footing in the real world for his character. Now we're going outside this planet Earth, possibly to the heavens, possibly to the depths of hell, wherever Vinnie chooses to take us with his virtuoso performance. Stakes have been raised to Vinnie Jones. Will he rise to them? I think we both know the answers to this. So as Father Christian Slater leaves, he implores, read the books. Vinnie Jones says,
All of them.
all right. Then he gets to it.
Oh, what?
Yes. On the way home, an entity takes control of Father Slater's car and is almost ran off the road. But he survives this one. Vinnie Jones, he goes to the basement, puts on his glasses and reads through the books, even the Latin translation. And once again, I'm not questioning it. I believe that he's studied Latin before. He understands it.
Do you think he should be the new sort of Indiana Jones?
Like, you're on fire. One-man show, Indiana Jones. Yeah, I'm there for all of it. In the theatre. He'll be the toast of town.
Toast of Broadway.
2 of Greg's goons, his goon squad, they follow Robbie Mueller to the locker room. There's going to be a beatdown, spot of intimidation. But they rough him up a little bit, but then Robbie laughs, a maniacal laugh. And he uses his mind powers, like slam him against the lockers and then make the lockers flap back and forth, and it's broken up by a teacher. He's constantly using his mind power. He's also exploding mirrors. He blinds one of the kids, doesn't he?
Yeah.
With an exploding mirror. Vinnie Jones and Father Slater, they now talk to Robbie. They've turned up. He's under suspicion. Vinnie goes quite lock, stock and 2 smoking barrels on us. But it's a wink to the audience. It's self-knowing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then he pulls back slightly. He reins it in at the right time. Now, I was so far into the character study that my notes have stopped making sense because I was mesmerised by the performance. I've written, ask Slater for proof like a monkey. What could I have been going on about there?
I have no idea what the monkey's got to do with anything. Maybe he's asking for proof from Slater that Mueller is this Omen child.
We'll have to watch it again, I guess. It's back at the
I don't think I can do it.
at the Galileo Coffee Company. Heather's there again, and we know it's her favourite. Vinnie Jones has said as much. She's there this time with Rob, and he knows that she's sick of eggplant ravioli. You can just tell it.
You want
so
something
then
new.
she asks him to read her mind, and he obliges. They're about to get more intimate, but he's still struggling to speak. He's also got it in for the priest. So she climbs on top of him and says, "You can trust me." This is at Vinnie Jones's house, by the way.
Right.
He walks in, he's like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah.
You know, it takes some balls, doesn't it, to just like climb on top of Vinnie Jones's door, or have her climb on top of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he really walks it off like, ain't no thing.
No, get out of here now.
But Vinnie Jones would beat this little guy to a pulp.
Yeah, you out of your mind. Now he's on the Jameson. Vinnie Jones, he's reverting to type. It's a surprising turn. You know, as I thought at the beginning, he'd light up the screen with a softened longing, but he's surprising us all with this now blood and thunder of an under-pressure lawman who's recently lost his wife. Let's not forget, it's only been 9 months. The performance is raw. Vinnie Jones is talking to his partner / private investigator now, who informs Vinnie Jones that Father Christian Slater was defrocked years ago and is just a loon who hangs in the bushes, LARPing as a priest. And he's been defrocked on account of being a wacko.
Yeah.
That's the private investigator's own words. And he warns Vinnie Jones off going after Slater. So he calls Slater, who's happy to come clean. He's like, "I don't care if you know that I've been defrocked." And then Slater's got more of the information, even though he told Vinnie Jones that all the answers you need will be in these 50 books
Maybe
I
he's
just bought you.
cutting him some slack because
wait.
he's supposed to read all those books.
I forgot this one book. I know I gave you 50, but I've still got this one. And apparently 2 angels, one of flesh and one of stone, will be destroyed. We're getting stories as we go along. So there's going to be a stone grave type thing destroyed, exploding, and Heather is the flesh angel. That sounds quite sexual, that, doesn't it?
Is she?
Rob is in the graveyard now. Not a good place to be hanging about if you're suspect number 1 or 2, is it? Vinnie, he needs to get to Heather now because he knows that she's the flesh angel.
Right.
And Christian Slater is choked by his own crucifix.
Yeah.
By Christian Slater. Wasn't enough of him, was there? He was underused. The original Carnaby.
Well, would you have sacrificed a bit of Vinnie Jones for some more Christian Slater?
Oh, that's a tough choice. Probably, yeah, 50-50. Let's give them both the amount of time they deserve. Vinnie goes to the graveyard. It's night time now. He goes to confront Robbie Mueller. He's like, "You going to shoot me?" He's like, "I don't know. I haven't made my mind up yet." So...
That was just Vinnie talking to Vinnie with the accents. "You gonna shoot me?" But yeah, sorry, carry on.
Because Rob is pointing a gun at Vinnie Jones. Not a great idea. But then an unseen force disarms him.
Yeah.
And he reaches for the gun. And Vinnie Jones is like, "Don't do it." But he does. So Vinnie Jones puts 3 caps in his ass while Heather is looking on. Then we get the revelation. It can't be easy for a widower, single father to now have blown away a child, right, on duty. Had to be done. And he walks over to Robbie Mueller, stands over him, Vinnie Jones, and says, "Crazy young fool." It's heavy.
Do you think he ad-libbed that?
I can certainly see that, and I can see why the director did not take it out.
Was that better than Ice Cream Truck's Mary Mary?
Oh,
Black
all of
Prairie?
this was better than Ice Cream Truck. Yeah, that guy can't compete with Vinnie Jones' delivery.
However, guys, we think, Omen Boy Mueller is dead. Turns out, but you didn't see this coming, it's actually Heather who's the evil one and has been doing it the whole time. We get this evidence because we get flashbacks of each time it was supposed to be Mueller doing it, but it turns out she's just been there and she's the one doing it because she's getting pissed off that they're picking on him.
Slow motion flashbacks. Because it adds mystery to it, doesn't it?
So do you think that means then that Mueller was the angel of flesh?
Yeah, weird angel of flesh though.
That's why he talks so slow.
Yeah, now Vinnie Jones has been through one case too many. So he's standing by his car after this is all over. The PI's one car over. Vinnie Jones is like, "Taking Heather over the pond. I'm out, bro, I'm done. We can see the relief washing over him. There is relief, but there's also questioning, should I really be doing this? Because he's married to the job. But England's the place to go for Vinnie now. He's going to farm. Because he's going to farm to centre once again.
But his daughter's going to love that.
For his next powerhouse performance. So Vinnie Jones and Christian Slater, put those together. It's always going to be hard to beat number one for me.
This is such a stupid movie.
But now this is 4 films now. Like we said, he's a soccer coach. He nails it. He's a silent killer. He nails it in the Midnight Meat Train. Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, who just plays a heightened, threatening version of himself. And now here, like I said, a tenderness, a softness. Bringing it to cinema. The only way he knows how.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that they were entertaining to watch, but this movie was just brought so low by the 2 younger main characters. I hated it.
They didn't have the minerals to act opposite Christian Slater and Vinnie Jones, did they?
No.
No. And, is Vinnie Jones holding his own with Christian Slater at the coffee shop when he brings him the tomes? Or is he blowing Christian Slater away? Who's grown up acting, where Vinnie Jones only took it up at like age 40. So
it does look
he's got
bit
this
like
good that quick.
They're in 2 completely separate movies.
These are the risks you take when you employ a heavyweight like Vincent Jones. Much like Brando in The Island of Dr. Moreau. It can go this way or another way, because it's always, in some way, genius. And it's there for all to see.